All right, so also on my channel, I have a number of other videos that can may assist you through this shift. If you want to look through all of the different playlists, I've got different meditations, binaural beats that I use, things that I've found to assist me through this that help me just kind of stay grounded and stay in a happy, peaceful place. So feel free to check those out. Anyway, so one more video I just wanted to talk about a little bit now that we've like clarified all the this is why I'm doing this, what is why I use this accent, yada yada yada. I like to talk about what's happening in the universe. So let's hold the camera still, shall we? So what's happening in the universe, I think right now, is that there's this shift going on. For certain, a lot of people are feeling it, and they're feeling very wacky energy. I know even people who are not necessarily into this woo-woo hippie stuff, or they're not into astrology or whatever, definitely been a lot of people I've been talking to have been telling me that they've been feeling just wacky energy in general, that they've been feeling very confused about their own lives, and they've been fighting with people. There's been a lot of breakups, a lot of transitions, and excuse me, sure, you can say like these things happen all the time. I hear, everybody in my head saying all the myriad of excuses of why, or not excuses, but reasons why this is happening. So, listen to this or don't. If you think that it's a bunch of woo-woo bullshit, again, I say turn it off. I don't care. So anyway, so here's what I think is going on. Is there's sort of a great push-pull that's happening because we're moving into the age of Aquarius, Anyway, so that's what's happening. Some woo-woo people say that we're moving from a headspace, which is like the thinking space, the space of the ego, into more of a heart-centered space, from the masculine to the feminine, from the dark to the light, whatever, screw the dualisms, whatever's happening, it's making energy crazy and people are feeling nutty. And I think it's pretty universal. I mean, like I said, a lot of people I've been talking to have been feeling this way, and not a lot of people are admitting it to others. They're just, what's been happening is it's been coming out in a myriad of other ways. So it's like we're moving from this space of separateness, feeling separate of the answers, looking for the answers outside of us, to realizing that we have to look within to find the answers. And what a funny guy on this motorcycle. Realizing that we have to look within for the answers, because that's where all the answers lies, within here. And it can be sort of uncomfortable, I guess, going into that space and letting go of all of this chatter that happens up here. Because really, our brains are like 2-year-old children. They're just chattering all the time, like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. You don't have to be seduced by every thought. I know I've said this in previous videos. And, that's the key to moving into that heart space. And that's why meditation can be such a really great way to get to the new paradigm, expansive space, whatever you want to call it. Because you can get this to shut down and go in here. But anyway, as the process happens, it can be a bit uncomfortable, and it can be very contrasting, sort of. It's sort of like the ego fighting with the heart, almost. That's not what it is, but that's, I don't know, maybe the best way I can put it. And so what happens is people are feeling it, and they're wanting to establish these boundaries. They're wanting to, like, their egos are like, no, this is me, this is who I am. It's like the last of the ego not wanting to let go. I think it's also the same reason why a lot of, like, the 1%, the wealthy, that own the world, I think it's a lot of the reason why that's happening. It's sort of like, if a child has a teddy bear and you try to rip the teddy bear out of his hands, he's going to pull back even harder. I think that the uber wealthy are like hoarding all their riches right now because they're sensing that things are shifting and it's about to be taken away from them. So there's a pull back and a push and a pull and a push, and it's happening with everyone. It's like everyone's sort of going, this is me, I'm me, you're you, we're separate, this is who I am, don't step on my boundaries. And they're creating these sort of imaginary boundaries, and then other people are stepping on them, then they're getting mad, then they're projecting all of their anger and their issues on others. I've been seeing it everywhere. And I've done it too. But basically what it all is that we're all mirrors for each other. Everything that you see within you, within someone else that you're not liking, that's making you uncomfortable, is something within you that you've got to take a look at. Most everything. And believe that or don't. If you choose not to believe it and you want to go on just being like an angry person, then that's your prerogative, and maybe that's your path, and maybe I'm completely wrong, and I'm totally okay with that. So again, if you don't like it, switch the channel. So I'm making these videos in the hopes that I can help other people. So if this doesn't help you, switch, just go somewhere else and find somebody else who does, or don't, or because really the answer's all within here, within you. You don't need me, you don't need anybody, you don't need any gurus. You just need to probably go sit somewhere quietly and just look within. And it can be a little painful sometimes, but it can also be absolute pure bliss. That's where home is in here, is in nature for me. It helps. Breathing in that beautiful prana, as one of my favorite people, Infinite Waters, likes to say. Anyway, I get off subject, but so what's happening essentially is that we're creating these imaginary boundaries, we're stepping on them, we're projecting all these things at each other, like this is me, this is you, blah, blah, blah. We're projecting all of our fears, our own personal issues that we're trying to work through the last of, letting go of the ego finally, completely. And it comes out at each other, and we end up being overly critical of each other. And like I said, there's what's culminating into is that a lot of people are sort of getting rid of people in their lives that aren't serving them well. And really, I guess what's happening is that we're all getting rid of everything in our lives that isn't serving us well. It's like, get rid of what doesn't serve you to make room for what will inspire you. And that's where I'm at, and that's where I guess we're all at. And so I guess if it means that we have to let go of certain people and embrace others or whatever, then so be it. And we have to be ready to accept that. And that process can be sort of painful, because sometimes some of those people are the people that are closest to us, that we love very much, friends and family, who maybe mean well, but either they can accept who you are or not, and you can accept who they are or not. I say we all just accept one another wherever it is that we're at. Now, I may not always be able to live that principle in real life practice. We all get caught in the drama of human suffering, as they say. That's part of the journey. Is the symphony, the highs, the lows, as I talked about in the previous video. But so really, I think the best thing that we can do is just all be accepting one another, love yourself, spend some time each and every day to make sure that you go inward and forgive yourself, forgive everyone. And just take that love out into the world. And even if people sort of spiritually, energetically, whatever, sort of smacking you around, just try to stay grounded in that self-love and self-care. It's very important. It's very important to take good care of yourself. But you know what? You could be eating a bag of Cheetos and driving a Cadillac Escalade and be the most enlightened person in the world. There's no particular recipe. There's some recipes that I wouldn't count on that happening, finding some enlightened guy in a Hummer eating a bag of Cheetos, but it's possible. There's certainly some recipes that have been known to work a bit better than others. Getting out into nature, meditation, that sort of thing does tend to work, at least for me, but it could be different for you. I like riding my bike, getting in my kayak, doing active things, being out in nature again. So anyway, the idea for me right now is to step into who I am, to be able to be who I am, and to be able to hopefully continue to be able to be the happiest person that I am, so that I can continue to make these videos, which will hopefully help people. In order to do that, I need to continue to build the audience. Yes, I am monetizing these videos. I made the ads so that you can skip them, but feel free to share this if it's helped you in some way, or tell me to piss off. Whatever. There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be haters, and I've come to accept that. I think we all should. So that's all I've got to say. Be easy on yourself. Be easy on each other. Love each other. Love the world you're in. Love the experience. Know that you're never alone. None of us are ever alone. We're all together in this crazy cosmic journey. We're just hurtling through space on this giant ball of shit that we're like currently wrecking. But shift your consciousness into a space of love, and if we can all do that, if a lot of us can do that, that will be really the first step to shifting everything. Peace. Peace is upon us. We're building the new world. We're getting off the grid. It's happening everywhere. Love. Love. Blessings. Peace. It's not just for hippies anymore.